The Archivist's Records. Entry 4. Rifts. Greetings, Nixari. There are few sights upon Aetheris more recognizable than a rift, and few things less understood. Ask a traveler about rifts, and they will likely tell you they are dangerous. Ask a merchant, and they may describe them as opportunities. Ask a scholar, and you may find yourself listening for hours. Ask an Aetheris, and they will probably begin by saying, "We are not entirely certain," which, in fairness, is perhaps the most honest answer available. Rifts have existed for as long as surviving records can confirm. The oldest maps mention them. The oldest journals describe them. The oldest warnings caution against them. They appear in every age, every region, every culture, long before kingdoms rose, long before nations formed, long before many of the landmarks familiar today. The rifts were already there, or at least they were already being observed. What exactly a rift is remains a matter of debate. Descriptions vary. Some appear as tears in the air itself. Others resemble fractures of light. Some manifest as swirling distortions. Others as silent openings where reality seems somehow thinner than it should be. No two are ever entirely alike, yet all are recognized by the same name. Rift. Most appear without warning. A quiet valley may contain nothing unusual one day. The next, a rift stands where none existed before. A remote coastline, a forest clearing, an abandoned ruin, a mountain pass. No location is entirely exempt, though some regions experience them more frequently than others. Why this occurs remains unknown. Their duration is equally unpredictable. Some disappear almost immediately. Others remain for days, weeks, months. A few become so familiar that entire generations grow accustomed to their presence, until one day they vanish, as suddenly as they appeared. This uncertainty has troubled scholars for ages. The human mind seeks patterns, order, classification, explanation. When confronted by something as unpredictable as a rift, it is perhaps inevitable that someone would attempt to organize the chaos. The Aetheris have done exactly that. Across centuries, they have established observatories dedicated to rift observation, research stations near known hotspots, archives devoted entirely to preserving records of sightings and anomalies. The result of these efforts became what modern scholars refer to as the Aetheris Rift Catalog, a collection of observed rift phenomena gathered across generations. It is important to understand what this catalog is, and what it is not. It is not an explanation. It is not a theory. It is not a guide to understanding the true nature of rifts. It is merely a record, an attempt to document recurring patterns. Nothing more, nothing less. Within its pages are classifications such as the micro-rift, a phenomenon so small it may go unnoticed by all but the most attentive observer, the wind shear rift, known for unusual atmospheric disturbances, the crackling rift, often accompanied by electrical discharge, the floating rift, associated with localized gravitational irregularities, storm rifts, shadow rifts, twisted rifts, and dozens of others. Each classification exists because someone observed a pattern, not because anyone understands the cause. This distinction is often forgotten. Many travelers assume that because a phenomenon has been named, it has therefore been understood. History suggests otherwise. Indeed, many Aetheris researchers would readily admit that every new classification often creates more questions than answers. For every rift that behaves predictably, another emerges that does not. For every rule established, an exception eventually appears. And so the catalogue continues to grow, never complete, never finished, always expanding. Perhaps the most troubling aspect of rifts is not their appearance, but their consequences. Many arrive and depart quietly, leaving nothing behind. Others are less considerate. Creatures unlike any native species have been reported emerging from rifts. Unusual materials have appeared in locations where they should not exist. Entire environments have been altered. Forests changed, stone warped, weather disrupted. In some cases, the effects persisted long after the rift itself disappeared. Such events have shaped the way many people view them. To some, rifts are hazards, a thing to avoid, a thing to fear, a thing to respect. To others, they are opportunities, a source of valuable materials, rare discoveries, unexpected fortune. History has demonstrated that both perspectives possess merit. Many fortunes have been made because of rifts. Many lives have been lost because of them. Neither outcome appears particularly concerned with fairness. Among the peoples of Aetheris, beliefs vary widely. Some cultures regard rifts as natural phenomena, no more unusual than storms or earthquakes. Others insist they are signs of something fundamentally wrong with the world. Some consider them omens, warnings, tests, harbingers of change. The Aetheris themselves generally avoid such conclusions, not because they dismiss them, but because they cannot prove them. And the Watchers have always preferred observation over assumption. Still, despite generations of study, the central questions remain unanswered. Where do rifts come from? Why do they appear? Why are some harmless while others are catastrophic? Why do certain regions experience greater activity than others? Why do some leave lasting consequences while others leave none? No record provides definitive answers. No archive settles the matter. No scholar has ended the debate. And perhaps that is what makes rifts so fascinating. Not their appearance, not their danger, not even their unpredictability, but the fact that after centuries of observation, they remain mysteries. Children grow up hearing stories about them. Travelers learn how to avoid them. Scholars dedicate entire careers to studying them. And still, the questions remain. The Watchers continue to observe. The explorers continue to investigate. The curious continue to speculate. And the rifts continue to appear. Silent, unpredictable, unexplained. Perhaps one day their nature will be understood. Perhaps one day the countless records gathered by generations of Aetheris scholars will reveal a pattern previously overlooked. Or perhaps rifts will remain what they have always been. A question without an answer. For now, only one thing is certain. Where a rift appears, mystery often follows.